Hey guys, Tom Mobile back again. Today I'm going to talk about the Nokia XR20. And yes, Nokia still make phones in 2021. And yes, it is another phone with random numbers and letters at the end. But this particular phone really emphasizes durability, security, and trust. It is a very fitting given the fact that their brand is pretty known for being indestructible. Back in the days when they have those candy bar shaped phones, one of my friends actually dropped a Nokia phone off a roller coaster and it still survived. Now flash forward to 2021, we have the Nokia XR20 and they are marketing it as an affordable 5G phone with great support. So you can see here for security updates, they do promise up to 4 years of support, which is pretty rare for an Android phone, especially in the mid-range price. This phone is coming at about $550 in the US market. And even from the software upgrade, it's pretty rare to have consistent long-term software support as well. But we have seen that the Samsung have done that recently with their A series, which is the mid-range phone. Overall, I know Apple has always been really good with the software updates regardless of what phone you have. You typically get anywhere from 3 to 6 years of software updates. In this case, it's not quite, but 3 years is still pretty good, and it is a huge upgrade compared to what we have seen in the past in the Android space. This phone is definitely made for people who do not like to upgrade often and want something that is going to be durable with a lot of good support for the long run. It has a very strong build, so in theory you wouldn't need a case for this phone. I personally don't like to use a lot of cases on my phones either. I like the general feel and aesthetic of the phone. I personally never really dropped my phone, so never really had any issues with that. But for the majority of people, it is usually a good idea to get a case, but you wouldn't necessarily need it for this phone. It has a very tough Gorilla Glass. It has scratch resistant, drop resistant, temperature resistant due to the military grade. Basically, it is pretty much life-proof. I do like that they took a play out of Apple's playbook by advertising that this phone is better for the environment due to the fact that it lasts longer. Apple used that excuse when they decided to not ship the charging brick anymore, but at least in this particular case, I think it makes more sense. And some of the new features includes the speed warp camera mode. It looks like it's a fast forwarding type of function built into the camera alone. Slow-mo is a pretty common feature in a lot of cell phone cameras, but this one, it looks like it gives you the ability to kind of fast forward and speed up the frame, which I think is a nice little touch. I mean, there are fast forwarding features in certain apps like Snapchat and everything like that, but I think this is something that may be kind of fun to play around with. In the early days of the smartphone era, there are some rugged phones such as the Galaxy S4 Active. The biggest selling point is it is durable and water resistant, and over time you kind of seen that line went away and they integrated some of the popular features into the main flagship line, such as the water resistant feature. That's pretty common with pretty much all the flagship phones these days. And even most recently with the LG V60 and also the LG Wing, those are actually military grade phones as well. It was kind of a little feature that it had, but LG didn't really advertise it that way. Compared to the Nokia XR20, it seems like they are really fixating on their durability factor, which I think makes it a cool little niche. And due to the fact that LG is no longer a player in the smartphone market, it does leave room for interesting phones like these to come out due to the fact that it is affordable, it has 5G, and it has great support. For the black version, I do kind of like this little red button on top. Makes it stand out a little bit. Once again, on their website, they are advertising safe and security. And on the front of the phone, you do see that it has some bezels on the side, which is actually a good thing for this phone because it gives it a little bit more space. If you were to drop the phone, it wouldn't shatter. And it also have the hole punch camera in the middle. This is a 8 megapixel camera. The phone weighs about 8.75 ounces. It is a 6.67 inch display, 1080p by 2400, which is pretty standard these days. Even the Galaxy S21 is a 1080p display. This phone have the Gorilla Glass Victus in the front, which is super durable. Once again, hitting on the updates and the longevity of the phone. So it got the stovetop camera hump in the back that you have been seeing on the iPhone. And it is pretty common these days to have these massive camera modules in the back. And the camera setup itself, there's a 48 megapixel main sensor and a 13 megapixel ultra wide sensor, which I think is more than enough for me. I'm usually not into the macro, the depth sensors and all that. I personally can't tell too much of a difference, but I feel like the wide angle camera is definitely more useful. And then it got the flash in the back on the side of the phone. It does have a Google Assistant button and some programmable buttons. You can use it to launch any specific app or something like that. It does have biometric face unlocking and even a mounted fingerprint scanner on the side. I think this is super useful as well. It's always nice to have the hardware fingerprint sensor compared to the on-screen one, because I feel like those are not as accurate. So this is a screenshot of the speed warp mode. Got a lot of different options and speed that you can change. They also advertise the loudspeakers. Got the speaker, USB-C at the bottom, and even a headphone jack. Affordable 5G phone. 18 watt fast charging. It also have a 15 watt wireless charging, which is pretty rare for some of the mid-range phone. This phone comes with a Snapdragon 480 processor along with 6 gigs of RAM. It has 128 gigabyte of storage, and it does have expandable memory. In the UK, the 4 gig of RAM and 64 gigabyte option is also available. Finally, it have a 4630 milliamp battery, and it comes in Ultra Blue or Granite. Overall, it is an affordable mainstream rugged device with a healthy software support, and I think it got a lot of potential. In order for it to be successful in the US, it needs to work with a mobile carrier. I'm curious if they're able to land any partnership there. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Nokia XR20 and if you will be getting one. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.